Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we will be rigging head movement. If you are enjoying these pre-debut videos, then subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment if you want to do so. Now, without further ado, let's get into the yap over. Long time no yap. Just kidding, it's been like a week. I kind of needed a little refresh, so I kind of just started messing around with the colors on the wheel in Live 2D on this part. I don't know why, but it just kind of helped because I think at this point I had done eye movement, eye jiggles, and had gone straight into the head X and Y movement. So this was my little mind break. I also messed with the pupil color. You can do a lot in Live 2D that I just didn't really know. But for this time around, we're doing the head movement. I spent a lot more time splitting sections up and moving them around. There are a lot of layers to create some better movements, like the freckles, nose shine, nose shadow, and blush are all split up. This helps make the movement of each part look better rather than last time with the nose and stuff on one layer. It looked a little iffy, which I definitely noticed a lot more when doing the corner syncing. You could see that the nose just wasn't moving how you would want a nose to move. Also, now that the eyes are properly done on the layer, there isn't skin that goes over the eyes and cuts into it that looks weird. I definitely want to spend some more time next session on learning how to glue layers properly, because I think that'll help with a lot of the layers that have like separate sections, like the lip and the lip skin part. I'm pretty sure a lot of the videos I've seen talks about gluing the top section to that area, so I need to look into that a little bit more. The last few times that I've looked into what gluing is in rigging, it kind of confuses me. But we'll figure it out. We'll definitely get a hang of it, and it'll be really fun to learn. The next session is going to be mouth movements, which is going to be super exciting. I'm kind of thinking it might be good in the next section to check if the mouth movement in head X and Y is moving how I want it to, because thinking about it now, I didn't check to see if that worked, and if like the teeth are all messy, since like moving it all over, maybe that'll be fun to work through. Something else that I need to do is record some better shorts and TikToks with my model right now, because it's mostly clips of time-lapse art and behind the scene things, but I was thinking about doing some voiceovers or some cute things, but I'd also like to do that with my new model to make sure everything is working how I'd like. But let me know what your thoughts are on what I should really be doing for TikToks and shorts. That'll be super helpful. Thanks. I've been seeing a lot of people playing Pokepedia videos on my feed, and I've been so jealous to not have a Switch 2, because that game looks like so much fun and so cozy, like a really good time to relax and just enjoy. I was a little unsure at first when Pokepedia was announced, but now I really like have to start saving up or wait until a really good deal of the Switch 2 comes by, because I was originally gonna set a timeline for when the new Pokemon Wind and Waves game comes out, but the Pokepedia just looks so cute. And also, if you have played the game, what are your thoughts on it? Like, is it overhyped? Is it underhyped? Like, is it everything you thought it would be? Is it just worth it? Because it's like, oh gosh, I think the Switch is like $500, and then the game itself is like $70. Okay, that's a lot. Like, just seeing that, I was like, oh, I don't really know But also when Pikachu was released or like announced, I was like, oh my god, that looks so stinking cute. And so I was really close to cracking and spending a lot of money for it, but I was like, oh no, I need to wait, I need to hold off, I can't just buy it because Pikachu, even though like Loki, I really, really wanted to. But I need control. There's too much that is going on. I need to just save and focus on getting my model done, and then can maybe look at what to invest money and time into. Also, to go back to the rigging information, I found a nice mouth form chart that will help with how I want the movements to look. It's from, and I hope I'm gonna say this correctly, but it's from Kazichu. I found it online. I think she had posted it on Twitter, but it has both mouth and chin movements, which I think will be super nice. I also saw someone on Twitter, I can't remember the name, but they had hooked their like shoulder movements as well to like certain aspects, and it honestly looked really cute, but I wish I had remembered what their tag was. And it was over the weekend when I saw it, so I don't know if I'll be able to find it again, but if I do, I will put it in the description because it just looked really nice. I'm also thinking I will go back and put some jiggle and movement into the ears for when I blink, because I've seen a few VTubers that have it and that looks really cute and I like the movement quite a bit. I also found on Twitter a fire animation that I was going to look into a little bit more of how to do, because I think it'll be really good for the ears and the tail fire, because honestly it looked pretty overall simple to do, so I'm really excited for that part. I'll also put that in the description of, if not this video, then when I do the fire, because that one's gonna be, I'm going to need that already screenshotted and like understood how to make it move. Okay, I went back and I was able to find the shoulder movement rigging that I saw that's connected to the mouth, and it's by Crom_works or @Cromworks. I really liked how they made their model move, so I just wanted to add that in there because I was gonna go looking for the fire animation movement because I feel like I liked it around the same time, so it shouldn't be too difficult to find. But it just like, the thing that was kind of confusing to me was the reverse mask that they were showing in their demonstration. I don't quite understand how the reverse masking works. Like, do you need that already put in? Like, is that a layer that's already done in the art? That person is Roberta on Twitter. She has like crab icons on her side. It's just really nice, and yeah, I just don't understand the reverse masking. Also, thinking about Pokemon now, isn't Fire and Red Leaf Green available for the Switch, or is that just the Switch 2? Because it might be a fun playthrough of that game to relive the older generation once I have my model all done, and just like, you know, for me personally, my first Pokemon game was Sapphire, and then it was Leaf Green, so maybe I can just do reliving the olden day Pokemon games. Also, this is a side note, but since I've been gonna keep going with the train of thought, but I've been thinking of it if I wanted to create a lore video or some like lore dialogue, but I think I've decided I would prefer to just kind of be myself and not create a realm of lore for my VTuber, because I want her to be me and me to be her, so it's probably better to not get that deep into like a lore dive, but maybe one day it would be really fun to have a fun video like that come out in like the future, but it's definitely not gonna be coming out anytime soon. It also helped with improving my writing ability because it just like it helped with the creative flow, you know. If you couldn't tell, I've wrote some of the script for this video, and it's been helpful at least for continuing conversations during these yapovers, and it keeps it somewhat organized. But I think once I start being able to record gameplay, the script writing will be a lot easier, but it also won't be that many yapovers or not that long of yapovers. I'm aiming for hopefully in the next few months to have pre-debut done. I'm thinking everything can be done by June. Like, is that, like, that gives 3 months for rigging the hair, body, mouth, breathing, tail, hands, everything. So I think 3 months is pretty reasonable. And then with the shiny model, it should just be its own video, but there shouldn't be too much to go into that. But we'll just see. I don't want to give like a hard deadline for when I'll be able to actually debut, just so I don't overshoot my own ability and process to get things done. I had a lot of fun with the head movement on this model, and you'll see when I flip the movement to mirror everything, it kind of gets a little funky, which was a funny surprise when I was rigging because I thought it would mirror perfect, but there's something about flipping everything on the axis that just like threw it off a little, but it's definitely not how I envisioned it when it flipped. But I tweaked it and made it look actually pretty nice, I think. I also noticed when I did the corner sinking movements, because of how I originally made the up and down movement, namely in the eyes, it didn't move correctly. Which if you're learning how to rig or rigging your own model, it's definitely best to try multiple times on what you want exactly and not get discouraged if there's a tiny little mistake, because every learning process comes with tiny little mistakes and a learning curve. So just keep going and it'll turn out really nice once you spend a lot of time and effort into it. But if I just had any little words of wisdom to share. Also, I think for my video question for this, besides the Bookpia question, I was going to ask, do you prefer to read or watch movies or show? Because for me personally, I really like to read, and while I mostly watch shows and movies and like YouTube content creators for like background noise while doing art or playing games, or even while I am working, if I need something that will just help keep my focus a little bit more, I like to kind of like just watch something. But I do prefer reading because it's just easy to sit down and relax. If you are a reader and like a fantasy series, I would really recommend the Zodiac Academy series. The writing is a bit cringy, but if you can look past that, it's a really fun series to just enjoy, and it's like a 12-book series, so it's really long, but it's such a fun world to dive into, and it is a bit spicy, so it's not like young adult, it's very adult. But if you just have time, I would suggest reading it. I might do a reread of the series because I just miss the world so much. I think I figured out what I want to do with my little flying gremlin creature. I think I will add it as my first toggle and make it a little bit cuter. Maybe once I start working on animation stuff, I can maybe make it like flying around on the screen. Like, is that possible? Will that be fun to include? Maybe even just like flying around the model, maybe as like an idle animation thing too. Like maybe that could work out really well. I love looking at my model holding the creature, but maybe I can create like multiple toggles slash assets that could make that work. And thinking about it now, what exactly is the difference between a toggle and an asset? Are they the same thing in a type of way where asset is what it's called before adding it to the model and creating it as a toggle? But also, would it be cute to have the gremlin on top of my model's head or holding it in its arms? I think it'll be a nice little treat to kind of work on and make for myself after my shiny model is done. Plus, then it kind of helps keep on track with what I want to have done. You see here where I have it mirrored and it kind of went a little funky. It doesn't do it on the side that I edited it, but when I flipped it over and mirrored it, it like elongates that pink eye side a little bit. Also, just saying pink eye side. Oh, okay. I didn't think about that when I made one of the eyes heterochromia, but okay. But yeah, you can see that it kind of stretched out a little weird, so I had to go in and make tiny little edits to each little section and part because just to like clean it up a little. I think it also might have been because of the major group editing, because I feel like if you do it where it's like one individual on top of one individual, I think that helps it work better. And when I say one individual, I mean one deformer at a time and flipping the side over. But honestly, who really knows if I'm even right on that thought process? It could be super simple, and it's just honestly the elongated part is my own fault. So who knows? If you couldn't tell at this point, I ran out of script writing because writing a script that's gonna take about 30. I think this video is gonna be like 30 minutes long. A lot harder to do when you just don't plan well. Found that out. There's so much that goes into making videos that you kind of don't really know about until actually making them. I probably honestly could make this video a little bit shorter and cut out or speed up even more the process, but I think just showing a lot of it helps if someone else is worried about making their own VTuber or a little unsure. Like, I think this just helps encourage other people, or that's just me and it's not actually that helpful. I just think it's nice to see kind of like a little bit more behind the scenes, like a little, like hearing a little bit more of what happens in the process and not just assuming that everything goes swimmingly. I think that's something that kind of gets overlooked sometimes, or if you just don't know the process as well as others. I think it's just something that's really good to show and see. Am I crazy, or am I looks like I have to go back in and fix my hair accessories. I thought I had just done that. It looks like it was crossing over the skin a little bit. I wonder if maybe I probably did move it. Do I go back and fix it? I really hope I go back to fix it, but if not, that's something I'm gonna have to fix when I go back in for rigging. I also think I messed up on this nose shadow a bit, because thinking back now, I think when I had put the perimeters on it, I think it was already off center, so it doesn't quite line up where I think it's supposed to. I think I end up making it look relatively nice, but I think that is something that I should double check. Because yeah, you can see the hair tie across wrap. It's going past the hair, which I can't believe I didn't notice until now. Actually, I can believe that I didn't notice until now, because just when you're going back through and editing, I feel like you notice a lot more of what needs to be done because you're staring at the video for a lot longer. And when you're like rigging or in the process of making something, if you stare at it for like a super long time, sometimes it will like look correct in your eyes, and that's why you need to take like a step back and double check afterwards. But that's like definitely really super off. So I'm trying to wonder, I'm hoping that it gets fixed in this little process and movement, but I highly doubt that it does because that's quite a bit different. So how exactly did it get so off of the hair, like how it did? Huh. Okay, that's definitely the first thing I'm gonna fix when I start rigging again, namely in the mouth. I don't think I'll record that well, would it be better? I think it would be better if I recorded that process and just show that the fix was made. I'm also now looking to make sure other things don't need to be fixed, because I would like to make a list of what needs to be fixed and looked at, but my eyes are definitely very much drawn to the hair wraps. Okay, here I have them edited. Oh, thank gosh. Okay, so I do go back and edit them. Okay, that makes me feel a lot better, at least on that side. And I should also, yes, okay, on the other side, I also go back and fix it. Oh, thank God. I was very worried that I had just left it, and how, okay, the process is going a lot better than I initially worried and thought it was gonna go, but a little scared, but it makes me feel more confident now that going back. So the next video will be, again, the mouth movement. I'm definitely thinking about fixing that eyebrow, or like the eye bone, even though it's hidden by the bangs. I think it is something that should be fixed, just because it's on my mind to do now. And I would like to add some physics to the hair accessories, but I think that will be probably not in, maybe in like the next few times, because I'm gonna have to do jiggle physics on the ear jewelry too, so I'm thinking that that will all be at the same one, and it'll probably be head movement. I know that when I did my other models, I did do some kind of like physics for the head side, so I'll probably add that again. And I had, you can't see it on this model because the little gremlin creature hides it, but I do have some like teardrop gems on the shiny green model you see now that I added physics to, and it's like side to side dangle. So maybe I'll look at what I did on that one and put it on this, maybe, because I'm pretty sure I did it for the side to side movements, but it's been so long that I can't quite remember. Also, you're gonna see here kind of like how I messed up, or kind of oversee, is the oversee the right word? I just overlooked a certain aspect of the eyes, because when I look up, the eyes kind of like go a little bit further apart, and I think that's when I sink the corners, that's where it gets really messy looking, because it spreads out the whole face in a way that it looks a little funky. So if you're going to be rigging and doing this, definitely think about how the up and down movements will be, because the smallest or like a little oversight will end up kind of like, you'll notice it pretty immediately once you sink the corners. But I still think it's pretty fun to show this kind of stuff. And I was also thinking about it with the color changer fun stuff I did at the beginning. Maybe it'll be fun to have a hidden section that color changes with a movement, just to see how noticeable it is. Kind of like how sometimes with eyes, people will make their eyes shine a little bit different at a certain aspect, and I think that would be pretty fun to do. Like maybe a certain like look over and one of the eyes has like a shining or like a little brighter section. I think it'll be something I might play around with, but if I don't add it, then I don't want to put it in the video. But it's just like something to think of to kind of keep the energy going with the rigging process. I'm also really excited for like rigging the ears, because on my this is where I really want the glue to come in, because the top of the ear and the back of the ear are actually separate, but if I merge them onto one layer, then the like fluff and the flame would like be at the top of the ear, and I just didn't really want that. And here you can see I sink the corners, and yeah, they move a little funky, so I ended up, I'm gonna have to restart and really think about that movement. Also, if you couldn't tell, I ran out of script. So now this is me just yapping as I am watching myself from this edited view. I'm gonna be like testing the corners and everything, and to kind of like reset, because it was either reset or try to figure out where every little angle went wrong. All you have to do is set everything back to like the neutral stance, and then unkey and then rebind the parameters, and then that'll just kind of set you back to a neutral state. And here I kind of like tightened in the eyes to help with the movement. But yeah, I think it ends up looking a lot better, and I'm happy with the mistakes that I've made. But if I've made a mistake and you see it and I don't, please kindly let me know. Because again, like as you work on something and your eyes are just on it, they kind of get like tired. At least for like me, they get a little tired. So going back over it really helps, and having helpful feedback also is very nice in my thought process. But I honestly really like my model and how she's drawn up. I also started the design of my outfit for my shiny model, and I think I got it to a point where I'm ready to add in the base colors. So I'll probably add a little short of what I am doing in like maybe the next few days or a few weeks, maybe. I also am gonna be away or out of town for a little bit, so I'm really thinking about setting up the quick little time-lapse video of my thumbnail, just to have a little extra week to make sure that I have the rigging done and some more edited videos. But if I do end up doing that, I think that video is like maybe a minute or so long, which does it really matter if that's a short or an actual video? Because in my mind, like an actual video is like 9-10 to like hours long, and anything shorter feels like a little bit of a short. But maybe that's just because I'm not super knowledgeable, if you couldn't tell, about video making. It's just, again, all the learning curve that if you have the strong will to go and do it, you can do it without having really any knowledge, because I feel like a lot of this is learn as you go, but it'd be also helpful if I knew more tips and tricks, which is its own little study session in my mind, and finding the time to look into that definitely needs to be done, because even though it's been probably a little over a month since I started posting videos, and man, I still don't know how to add soundtracks to DaVinci Resolve. I have no clue. I've tried, I've done a little bit, and it still goes straight over my head. So that's why these aren't like lo-fi, kind of have in the background type videos, and why I'm just yapping over it all, because I just don't really know if it's useful at this point, or if I should just use it like the sound effects that already come with it with the videos in the future. I figured these yap sessions are a good way to get to know kind of me, but I also know that I repeat information quite a lot, so it could very well be really annoying. Here I fixed my whole eye movement, head movement, and now it's honestly looking a lot better. I think this corners, and I'm really happy with how she's turned out. I can't wait to go and show more, so thanks. Woohoo! That's the end of the video. We made it. Thank you for taking the time to watch my videos, and I hope you're enjoying the process. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!